Hey guys, so guess what? I'm in Italy at the most amazing exotic sports car company in the world. This is Pagani. I have been here quite a few times and actually met Mr. Pagani as well. But what a inspirational place to be. And I have Sebastian, who is in public relations, is going to walk us through a little bit about understanding why this brand is so special and so unique and why there are so few of them being produced a year. So Sebastian, tell us a little bit more about kind of why this is important, what makes Pagani different from other sports cars like Ferrari or Lamborghini or Porsche even.
So first of all, we are in Modena, the Motor Valley. So Horacio, since a very young age, was dreaming about moving to Modena from Argentina, and he dreamt about these iconic car manufacturers with more than 100 years of history.
Yes.
So in a way we are here today because of the history of these brands, and I mean we have a huge amount of respect for the brands in Modena.
And Mr. Pagani is the founder, by the way, and he's still still the president, the owner of the company.
Correct, yes. Exactly. So founder and chief designer also.
Chief designer, yes, yeah.
And yes, today here we are in the atelier of Pagani. So the atelier of Pagani is a very peculiar place in the automotive because the atelier is where people work manually.
Yes.
And today we have the Utopia Coupe in production, which is about 7,000 components hand assembled. So the car at really 360 degrees is handcrafted. So starting from the powertrain, it's a hand assembled engine by one person.
Wow.
Then the entire carbon fiber department, which we're going to visit now, is all handcrafted. So it's a lamination phase where my colleagues by hand are going to laminate a structural and the body of the car, and then the team in the assembly phase, pre-assembly and assembly phase by hand. So the idea is that back in the 60s in Modena, people would hammer the aluminium panels of our cars by hand, and we want to keep this tradition of Modena of having that craftsmanship by hand today in 2024.
And that's significant because so many of the, maybe not your direct competitors, but the Ferraris of the world, the Porsche, the Lamborghini, they all kind of hand-built, but also high volume production in comparison to Pagani.
Yes, it really is.
Whereas you guys are still hand-building each part painstakingly, starting from the beginning all the way to the end. And it's really almost like a racing machine in many ways, is that right? In terms of performance, in terms of the capability.
Regarding production numbers, you're absolutely correct. I mean, we last year did 50 cars.
50 cars?
And then this year the target is to reach 55.
Okay.
So we are slowly growing, organically growing.
So
we have also new markets. We're still very, very exclusive because this year we're celebrating 26 years of the company.
Okay, wow.
And in our history we did 140 Zondas and 300 Wairas.
Wow.
And
today that's the total number.
Yes. Wow. Plus you have to add in 50 chassis of Utopia out of the 99. So
I see.
Today we're at half the production of Utopia Coupe production. And in upcoming months we will also start the production of the Utopia Roadster.
And each car average selling cost?
So the car in production now is Utopia Coupe, which has a retail price of 2.3 million euros plus local VAT.
Yes.
And then last month we announced the Utopia Roadster, which has a retail price of 3.1 million euros.
And is that including everything or plus customization?
No, this is the standard price.
Standard price,
yes.
Okay.
Customization, of course, we offer a very wide list of options. For example, one of the significant options is a sports package our customers can add to the Utopia, which had the semi-slick tires, the carbo titanium flaps, the sports seats in carbo titanium, the carbon fiber wheels, the ceramic coated exhaust. So these are all add-ons. And then our configurator today allows that the 99 Utopias could be different from each other. But the Pagani customer requires a tailored suit, right? Perhaps they've seen a tree with this specific color, and they would like this on their car. So they really want to make their car very, very unique. In production timings, we're talking from 4 to 6 weeks of production.
Oh, that's not
for
too
one
bad
car.
actually. 4 to 6 weeks. I thought it would take longer.
It depends on the level of personalization.
Oh, I see.
When we get very difficult, complicated requests, of course it takes longer. But yeah, this is a bit the range of timing.
So if you buy lots of special features and customization, how much would a fully loaded one cost?
So we actually did an average for Utopia Coupe, and we have an average of 2.6 million.
In addition to?
This is the average of a Utopia customer configuration.
2.6 euros, so right?
Yeah.
Euros.
Yes, it's always in euros. Yes.
Right, of course. Wow, amazing.
And we even take it to a next level because we have a special department which is called Grandi Complicazioni. So in Italian, Grandi Complicazioni means grand complications, which is inspired by the fine watchmaking industry. So the difficult movements. And we offer our most exclusive customers bespoke projects. So we're talking about configuration, aesthetics, colors, materials. However, now with this department we can offer mechanical personalization.
Okay, I see.
A great example was the Huayra Codalunga, so 5 units worldwide.
5 units.
So a customer was dreaming with a long tail version of the Huayra.
Oh yes,
and we sat down with the customer at the table and exchanged ideas. So we started a dialogue. How can we create this long tail inspired by the Le Mans 1960s? And we try to create the dreams of the customers come true with this very limited one-off and few-off programs.
And how much would those cars cost?
So the Codalunga has a retail price of 7 million euros.
7 million euros, wow.
But there are 5 in the world.
Yeah, I see.
Globally homologated, so even when we do a very limited series, we are looking to homologate and pass all the crash tests and the emission tests for a global level.
Global introduction, I see. So what kind of customers buy Pagani? So I mean, it's obviously not their only car, right? They will have own many cars.
No. So let's talk about the car in production at the moment.
Sure. Yes,
Utopia is the name refers to a philosophical concept of Thomas More, who implies perfection state, a sort of heaven in a way.
Utopia, right?
Utopia. And Utopia was a project that started 6-7 years ago. So at Pagani, Horacio always reminds me that we need to make cars to satisfy the ego of our customers and not our own ego. So we want their dreams to come true. And Utopia was a very extensive exchange of ideas with the customers.
I see.
I mean, the Pagani customer is a very refined automotive collector. We literally went to our customers and asked, what can the new Pagani add to your very exclusive car collection? And so we try to listen from different cultures also. We believe it's very important to learn from different cultures. And when Utopia project was exchanging, 3 terms always stood out. So a V12, non-hybrid, the manual transmission, and also a simple and elegant car. With Utopia, we try to put the driver in the center of the car.
You say in the middle, right?
Exactly. No, sorry, you don't sit on the middle. It's not a central position, but as a philosophical term.
It's a philosophy.
That the human, yes, exactly.
Designed around the driver.
Exactly. So hence why we have a V12 manual. Over 70% of the customers chose for a manual transmission. So we developed the clutch specifically for these cars.
That's amazing.
Today in the automotive, there is a lot of robotization in terms of big screens, a lot of driver aids. And we try to keep a neoclassical experience because Utopia is a modern hypercar, but when you sit inside it, you will see it's a very retro feeling with aluminium. You have the gears of like a watch, the skeleton movement.
Like a vintage, modern vintage look. Kind
Exactly, yes.
of,
Which because we try to design timeless cars. This is very important. And we study the beauty of this timeless design and adding this scientific approach, right? So we invest a lot, of course, in composite materials because we research the latest technologies available. Today in Utopia, we have 40 different formulas of composite materials.
Oh wow!
So in safety is a key element of of the project always. I mean, for example, a great safety feature we introduced with Utopia is a cyber tire in collaboration with Pirelli.
Okay.
So there's
cyber tire?
exactly. So there's a sensor in the tread of the tire.
Okay.
And it can basically read the conditions of the asphalt.
Oh my goodness.
So it sends real life information to the brain of the car, so the ABS, the traction control, ESP, and it really can prevent from dangerous situations. I've seen videos of cars doing the moose test with and without cyber tire on a wet surface, and the cyber tire allows the cars to brake in anticipation because the brain of the car adapts to the compound. So we have 3 tire compounds on Utopia. And of course an ABS is not going to be the same with a semi-slick tire than with a winter tire. So the car adapts to the compound and to the situations.
I see, wow.
So
is that the first application of a cyber tire?
Absolutely, yes.
I never heard of that before yet.
No, it's because we've been working with Pirelli for 25 years now. And we have this continuous R&D and innovation projects, and we hope that this will be a safety feature added to also other cars
in the future.
So we always invest in safety. I mean, for example, another safety feature is that Utopia is the first hypercar on the market with knee airbags.
Oh, I see.
So we studied crashes in hypercars, and we see that the knee was a very vulnerable part of crashes. So we always try to add safety features. I mean, these are rear-wheel drive cars that weigh 1,300 kilos, manual. So we want to add safety features. We want that the Pagani customer enjoys and feels safe when driving their car.
Do the Pagani drivers actually really use the car, or did they leave it in the garage somewhere?
They really do.
Oh, they
Absolutely,
do?
Yes,
Wow.
because again, the globally homologation standards for Pagani today, we are a boutique manufacturer of hypercars.
Very boutique.
But we want our cars to be globally homologated. So for example, with Utopia, we did 50 crash tests to homologate the car globally. We did 40 emission tests because it's a V12 without hybridization, right? So we passed the stringent Californian laws. And yes.
Last question: who will be a direct competitor to Pagani? It's almost no competitors, but.
So I have a very good answer for you that I learned from Horacio. Is that we don't try to be in competition with nobody because we will already arrive second. So I believe that each brand has its profile of customers. So I think that's the beauty also of the automobile. And we look always at the Pagani customer. So Pagani customer wants a light car, rear-wheel drive, V12. That type of analog experience, naked mechanics. When you see a bonnet of the car, you see everything exposed. So we look at the profile of our customers. We have different types of cars. We have, like I said, grandi complicazioni. Then we have Utopia cars. We have track cars. So for our more adrenaline-seeking customers, we offer an event platform on the track with a technical team, engineers, motorsport coaches. So it's a race against yourself, and you can drive a Wyra R that weighs 1,050 kilos, naturally aspirated V12.
Oh my goodness! I cannot imagine.
So you learn on the track to beat yourself in competition with yourself.
Which country has the largest customer base for you guys?
So the main market for us is North America.
Oh, even North America?
Yes, because we include Canada. We have Pagani of Toronto also. So the North American market is roughly about 40% of the market share.
Well, that surprised me. I thought maybe Middle East or Asia might be big.
And as a matter of fact, we entered the North American market in 2011 with the Wyra Coupe. So it's one of our most important markets after the second chapter of Pagani. So today you can write in Zondas with US legislation. But initially the Zonda was homologated just for Europe and Asia.
Right? It wasn't certified for US or North American use.
It wasn't, no.
Oh wow. Very interesting. Last question, a little bit about the production philosophy for you guys.
Yes, so again, like I said, the production philosophy at Pagani, we have 2 brand pillars, which is art and science. Of course, art and and science are concepts argued by Leonardo da Vinci in the Renaissance time.
Yes, okay.
So we inspire ourselves a lot by this period and by Leonardo da Vinci studies when it comes to the production of cars.
Okay.
We have different phases. So we have the pre-assembly phase.
Okay.
Right, so we have 3 types of pre-assembly. So we have the pre-assembly of the interiors, pre-assembly of the body and exterior parts, and the mechanical pre-assembly. And this is all made by the expression by the hands of my colleagues. So it's really an artistic expression. And the scientific part is because we use the most advanced materials. For example, our CNC components made in-house pass also aeronautical certification. So we try to use that scientific approach with the most advanced materials. Also like the Zonda back in the 90s to bring motorsport materials to a street car.
Basically a street legal race car.
Yes, exactly. And of the aviation. These are components used in aviation. And so these 3 phases of pre-assembly pass then onto the assembly department. And yes, this is really an expression by the hands of my colleagues. And also after the cycle of autoclave, so when the fibers become rigid, right, it will also be hand trimmed. Cars are hand painted. The whole leather is handmade, so hand woven. So there's really that human factor that we like to highlight.
Beautiful, amazing story. And how long of a wait if you order one? I think you say
roughly 2 years.
About 2 years waiting list.
Yes.
But it takes about 8 weeks to actually manufacture one. But even if you have money, you have to wait 2 years.
Yes, that's because there's a waiting list and the slots allocation. So,
right. Well, amazing. Thank you so much for the story. I can't wait to see more of your amazing story and amazing facility here.
Let's go look then.
I wish I could afford to buy one, but maybe I get to drive one of these days. Thank you so much. Thank you. In addition, Sebastian's going to show us all of the historical development and different progression of the Pagani cars. So tell us what's going on here.
Yes, so here the first car we have in the lineup is the Zonda C12. This is the chassis number 1.
Chassis number 1, wow.
This is the world premiere car. We also have chassis number 2.
Yes.
So this was the world premiere car that we completely restored back to its original condition. Wow. And yes.
Where was that? Was it unveiled?
It was unveiled in '99 at the Geneva Motor Show.
At the Geneva Show, okay,
yes.
I see.
And Zonda is the name of a local wind in Argentina.
Yes.
But originally the car was supposed to be called Fangio Formula 1.
Okay.
Because Horacio wanted to draw the car in homage to Juan Manuel Fangio.
Yes, okay.
His mentor and also idol.
I see, okay.
And then in 2005 we called Zonda Fangio. Right. Zonda F for Fangio.
Zonda F, yeah.
And this last minute change of name was because Fangio passed away before the world premiere of the Zonda.
I see,
and out of respect for the family, Fangio family.
They didn't want to use a name.
Exactly.
I see, okay. Very interesting.
And then here the second model we have is a stylistic model made out of wood and resin.
Oh, this is, okay, this is strictly a clay slash...
No clay.
No clay, just wood.
Wood and resin,
wow.
Because we always do a 1-to-1 scale model.
Okay, I see.
And then 8 smaller scale models by hand, because Horacio here did it by hand.
Oh my goodness, wow.
Since he's a kid, he's been working on scale models on balsa wood by hand. And today we still use this technique for this artistic know-how. You were asking me the philosophy.
I see.
So
amazing.
This is a style model of the Codalunga. The long tail Huayra. This is the stylistic model of the Huayra Coupe. So you actually see his notes. So he says, this piece is too big, we remove it here. This is too wide, we make it narrow. So this is his notebook.
Oh wow.
It doesn't do CAD drawings.
Right, everything by hand, right?
Exactly, like it used to be one back in the time.
Yes, wow. This is Mr. Pagani's basically artwork.
It is, yes.
His artwork.
Yes. And then here we have a very, very special Zonda. This is the Zonda chassis number 6.
Okay.
It's part of the Pagani collection. And this is the first car ever to have a carbon look body. So On the silver car, the silver Zonda, it was spray painted.
Yes,
with a metallic silver paint. However, here it was the first time we unveiled a car in the automobile with a carbon look. And then a pattern.
Carbon look, but it's also carbon fiber underneath, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
yes.
all carbon fiber.
Exactly.
So it's exposed carbon, basically.
There you go.
Okay.
And basically, this V shape you see here is the trademark of Pagani. It's what's called fishbone pattern, and the idea is that we need to align the fibers. So there's one person by hand who aligns the fibers.
Oh my goodness! I can't imagine how much time and effort it takes to get that done.
Yes, and it's one piece front bonnet. All handmade.
Oh my goodness!
So this in the 90s was revolutionary, right?
I cannot believe that. Because you guys do your actual fiberglass work, not fiberglass, sorry.
Carbon fiber.
Your carbon fiber work inside, right?
Absolutely.
It's all in-house.
We have 40 different types of formulas. So for example, in 2009 we developed the carbo titanium. Okay. So you had the fibers with woven titanium filaments inside. Yes, Then we have carbo triax, which is even more resistant than titanium and lighter. So we keep on innovating new materials, right? I see. Hence why today we have a repertoire of 40 different formulas.
They're incredible.
Scientific formulas in the end. This is a style model of the Wyra R, our track version.
Yes, okay.
And we also announced in February this year the Revo. So it's the long tail version of the Wyra R and open top Barchetta.
I see.
With removable panels.
Yes.
And the new engine, so it's the evolution of the Wyra R, and that will be joining the new RTM Pista events upcoming season.
I see. Wow, amazing. Yes. I didn't get to go to the Quail this year. I went a couple of years ago, but I heard some of the news about the new introductions.
For us, it's very important to unveil cars at the Quail because today California has the most stringent emission law. So mostly new cars are show and display or hybridized to pass the emission norms. However, we today, as a niche manufacturer, can homologate a car in California state. Like a historical manufacturer, like a big scale manufacturer.
Okay.
So
you don't have to meet the same emission standard.
We do have. That's why.
Same standard. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we did 40 emission tests, and we are very proud that we can pass these emission tests like a big manufacturer.
Yeah, that's amazing with the V12 engine and the manual transmission cars.
Absolutely.
It's hard to believe.
It's due to the extensive know-how and history and expertise of Mercedes AMG.
Right, I see, okay.
And I mean, it took over 6 years to develop this engine.
Wow.
So
even though it's built by AMG, it's an exclusive engine for Pagani, right?
Correct, yes. Yes. Beautiful. It's called, the engine name is Pagani V12.
Oh, Pagani V12.
This is the name of the engine. And it's also a very light engine. It's about 262 kilos. So at Pagani, it's all about milligrams.
Yes.
And it's an engine with a power output of 864 brake horsepower.
Oh, wow.
1,100 Newton meters of torque.
Oh my goodness! All naturally aspirated.
No, it's a biturbo engine.
Oh, that's a turbo engine.
Yes,
I see.
Twin turbo engine.
Twin turbo,
and I mean, the torque kicks in straight away from 2,000 RPM until 6,700 RPM.
Yes,
and this is thanks to the new valve train we received for the engine. So, I mean, Mercedes AMG did an incredible work to this new engine.
Yes, wow, amazing, beautiful. All right. Thank you so much again, and a little bit more to come. I guess we're gonna go upstairs now. I think.
Absolutely. Let's go see the carbon fiber department.
Okay. Sebastian, I know there's so much to show us in terms of what makes Pagani so special. Tell me a little bit more about parts, about the steering wheel.
Yes. So here are all the CNC components. So we roughly have about 700 components, and I think it's important to highlight the steering wheel because. It starts from a single block of aluminum of 43 kilos.
Wow.
And then it passes to a steering wheel of 1.3 kilos.
Oh my goodness.
So we removed all the aluminum.
So one single block, and they carved this out, right?
Exactly. The idea is a bit like Michelangelo's sculpture in marble, and we carve it out of an aluminum. So to give you an example, to complete one car, it's roughly about 625 hours of CNC machinery.
Wow.
And this is all made in-house by Pagani.
Oh my goodness.
And
am I allowed to feel it?
absolutely, please.
Oh wow. Okay, I'll just take this home. This is all I need. Oh my goodness, beautiful part.
And
Look
for
at that.
the steering wheel, it's about 28 hours just of milling, so
Yes.
carving it in, and then you have to add 8 hours of hand polishing,
Oh my goodness.
like one in the 60s years.
Incredible piece of
It's
work.
one
Basically
main
piece of
program.
art.
It's one main program,
Yes,
so the
yeah.
software of the machinery.
Okay.
One main program, but with 600 sub-programs.
Oh my goodness. I mean, as an engineer, I can just appreciate the complexity in making this from a single block of aluminum. Just the sheer task, never mind the design, just the actual work itself is so complicated.
Oh, it's months of programming. And then the difference also at Pagani is that my colleague, he follows the design phase, the programming phase, so we can simulate the CNC, so the
Yes.
way you work inside the aluminium blocks.
Right,
Should I
right.
start from the right side, the left side? And then he goes also and mans the machine. So he follows the component at 360 degrees.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Every part looks like a museum artwork, Every part is just so beautiful.
You even see how it's been carved,
wow.
direction, temperature, because the strategy is, of course, you mill in this way,
Yes, yeah.
but then you have to carve here a little hole to make sure that the text is carved properly.
I see. A 3D effect, I guess.
Exactly, yeah.
Wow, it's so light. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it's first grade aluminium.
See, if you look carefully, actually, this is an actual hole. You can see through. At first, I thought it was like an engraved kind of design, but it's actually cut right through.
Yeah. And then customers can
Amazing.
personalize it. So, for example, this is the engine cover. So it's been ionized in gold.
Oh, wow.
So customers can choose from a very wide array of colors.
Send that back to you. I'm so scared to drop this thing.
I mean, to give you an idea of the attention to detail, the oil dipstick is aluminium ionized in red. The dipstick.
Oh my goodness. So the actual dipstick where you put it in and check for oil?
Yeah. So even components the customer
Crazy.
most likely won't see. We want that no component is left untouched.
Right.
So even in the biggest details.
Wow. I'll just take this home. Beautiful. Just amazing. Okay, so of course the heart of Pagani is the actual bodywork, which is carbon fiber. You have your own in-house carbon fiber, which is the most critical part, aside from the engine. Tell us a little bit more about what's going on.
Yeah, so here behind you see my colleagues who really represent the craftsmanship of Pagani when it comes to composite materials. Just look at his hands. So he's filling up, laying up the fibers on top of the mold that you see here under.
yes.
Here we're working on a rear bonnet of an Utopia coupe. And this is the craftsmanship of laying up the sheets on top of each other. You see, in a way, he follows that trim I was showing you on the Zonda, that pattern. And of course, these cars, like I said, represent that craftsmanship by hands, like our brand pillars, art and science. The total of layers depends. A structural element needs more layers.
Yes, okay.
And also here you can see how the carbon fiber is flexible, so we can work on very complex forms, and still the resin has not dried.
Okay,
So
I see.
this is the phase before cooking the fibers and the molds in the autoclave.
How do they make sure that for the top layer, how do you make sure all the lines line up and looks beautiful? And
Because they're craftsmen people.
again, it's all handcrafted.
Absolutely. They have a very expertise of working with these fibers and following a certain pattern. Yeah.
Amazing. How many hours to complete something like this one piece right here?
So it's roughly 1 week for one entire car set.
Okay,
So
I
the
see.
people working here work on one car.
One car,
Yeah.
I see.
We
Wow.
have about 45 people working in this department for one car, just of the composite materials.
Would you say within the auto industry, you guys have the most amount of carbon fiber bodywork?
Well, yes, because Horacio has been studying composite materials since the 90s, so
Yeah.
it's really considered as a precursor, especially in this hypercar segment, to innovate on the most advanced materials.
Right.
To give you an example, the Utopia Roadster that we just unveiled is as torsional, as rigid, as agile as the coupe counterpart,
Oh wow.
and as light. So
Yeah.
usually in the automotive, if you innovate in these materials, you can achieve such technological results.
Right. Wow.
And thanks to these composite materials.
I mean, in most modern car, all we get is a little bit of carbon fiber in the dash or something. That's what we can afford to get. But your entire car is made from carbon fibers, right?
Yeah,
Pretty well.
Until today, we have developed 40 different formulas of carbon fiber, all developed in-house by Horacio.
Yeah,
So we also, of course, this is the production of cars, the department, but we have also an R&D department that constantly innovates on the latest materials. So
Wow.
we need the most torsional, the most rigid, the lightest materials, and daily we challenge ourselves and innovate these.
Wow. Just absolutely amazing amount of details and intensity, and just again the spirit of Pagani shine through, not just from the design of the car or the powertrain, but just even from the bodywork itself.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm speechless.
And one more thing I would like just to point out is the fact that once the mold has been laid up, the mold will be put inside a vacuum bag.
Yes.
So to make sure that the air between the sheets is compressed and there is no imperfection when
Right.
because the cooking is a combination of temperature and of pressure.
Right, okay,
So
okay.
when it expands, we have to make sure that there is no
No air
air.
trap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the molds are also made in carbon fiber.
Okay,
Because
I
in the
see.
chemical reaction of that phase of cooking, the expansion needs to have the same material. Otherwise, there will be too many imperfections.
I see. So the mold will expand at the same rate as the actual material itself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Shockingly impressive. So as we begin to wrap up our amazing tour at Pagani, Sebastian's going to just walk us through some of the historical significance of Pagani at the museum, because there's so much rich history behind the brand name.
Yeah, so I think it's very important to highlight here the scale models, where it really all started, where Horacio realized he wanted to design cars. So of course from a very early age here in the balsa wood, and then he inspired himself a lot by Le Mans prototypes, wedge cars, by the Lancia Stratos, for example, Alfa Romeo Cabarao. So here are these scale models that he built. And then for example, the last scale model, he made it with his hands, and he later made the Zonda Revo Barchetta, which is inspired by the Can-Am racing cars.
Yes, yeah.
And I show you the car later with the same colors as the scale model.
Oh wow.
So
cool.
this is where he realized he wanted to move to Modena
Yes.
and come design the most beautiful car here.
Wow. But the interesting thing is that he used balsa wood, right? To
Correct.
make some of these things. That's not an easy material to work with.
It's not.
Yeah, because it's not clay.
Horacio says you need to work with your hands and design with your hands. This is an expression, right? Because that's again the Renaissance, the Renaissance period, which was the artistic intelligence in Florence. So
Right.
he inspired himself by. This is also the years where he discovers Leonardo da Vinci.
Right, I see. Interesting. So, and tell us just quickly what we have here.
Sure. So this is the Zonda La Nonna. This is chassis number 2 of the Zonda C12 model range. La Nonna in Italian means grandmother.
Oh, okay.
Because
Interesting.
it's an affectionate name we gave the car. And this car has a mileage of 550,000 kilometers of testing, events. And it was basically used as the prototype for every Zonda range.
Oh my goodness, 550,000 miles, did you say?
Kilometers.
Kilometers?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that's
So
amazing.
it started as a C12, then evolved into a Zonda S, a Zonda F, a Zonda
I
Cinque,
see.
and today the final spec of the car is a 760, Zonda 760.
I see.
Yeah, and it's been completely restored for Horacio's 65th birthday.
Oh wow.
And now it's in the museum.
Wow,
and
amazing.
the grandmother can.
Grandmother, yeah, because this is a baseline for all the models.
Yes,
that
for all the
have
Zonda,
tested.
correct, yeah. Then here is a Zonda S, a very iconic car of the company, because this car was really the evolution of the C12. We received a new updated 7-liter engine. We completely redesigned the body of the car with their aerodynamic flow. And this is also a movie car.
Okay.
So it was used in Michel Vaillant movie with Diane Kruger.
Okay,
so,
I see. But you see Pagani in the movies once in a while, right?
Yes.
Not too often because it's
not too often, but here was the first movie car, and the paint is also very emblematic at Pagani because it's called Blue Francia. So it's that electric blue.
Electric blue.
Yeah,
color.
and it's chassis number 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, couple more cars, I guess.
Yes, so here we have a Zonda F Coupe. So we wanted to give a homage to Fangio in 2005, like I explained you earlier. So here, the F you see on the car is the signature of Fangio, so the F. We did, so from C12, Zonda S, Coupe and Roadster, we did about 50 chassis. Then we did 25 Zonda F Coupe and 25 Zonda S Roadster.
I see. Wow.
So also a very good feature to show is the Modena Design logo, which was the initial name of the company that Horacio set from 91 until 98.
98, I
so
see.
Until the Zonda F, he signed the cars Modena Design. Before signing them, Horacio Pagani.
I see.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this had already the updated engine, 7.3 liter engine.
Wow.
Yeah.
These are all work of art, just so amazing.
This is one of 5 cars, so this is number 5 of 5 of the Zonda 5 Roadsters. It's also the first production vehicle to feature carbo titanium. So we developed a bespoke composite material for the car. It was also the first sequential Zonda available. First bucket seats on a Zonda, then the first wheel nut central lock wheels on the Zonda. And yes, it was also the first Zonda to reach the retail price of 1 million euros. It was a bespoke request from a customer.
Wow.
And yes,
every single one of them is so special, right? Because you have so much history behind it.
Yeah, exactly. Every car has its history behind.
And story behind.
Yeah.
Well, look at the back of this exhaust system.
Yeah, this is a Zonda Revo Barchetta. So this is the car I showed you in the scale model that Horacio already imagined.
Oh, okay, right. With the same color pinstriping colors.
Yeah. So you've seen the Barchetta, Zonda HP street car.
Yes.
So it's always an open top car where the A-pillar cutted. And this is the track version. So it's the idea of cutting the roof on a Zonda Revo, which was the fastest production car to lap the Nordschleife in 2010.
Oh my goodness.
And then this is a one-off car for the museum.
Wow.
So yes, this is a museum car. We unveiled the car at Goodwood in 2022.
Not too long ago, right?
No, not too long ago.
One last piece.
Yes, so this is the Pagani Imola Coupe. So you have seen the last Imola Roadster in production.
Yes.
So there were 8 Roadsters and 5 Coupe. And this was the world premiere car of the Imola Coupe. We have a very great partnership with the Imola racetrack because it's a very great circuit to go testing.
Yes.
And it's half hour away from here. So this car developed 6,000 kilometers of testing at the circuit of Imola.
Wow. Yes.
And hence the name of Imola. And we decided to choose this launch spec because with the matte silver color, you see all the aerodynamic work. So for us, the Imola is the most performing street version, track focused from the Huayra.
Wow.
You see all the underskirt has been completely reshaped.
Yes.
The front splitter, the wings, the diffuser. So we did an incredible aerodynamic and track testing work of this car.
Well, Sebastian, I'm just taken away by all the amazing stories behind the brand, but also all the amazing future potential for the brand because you've grown quite so much. And even though most of us maybe not be able to afford a car, the inspiration and the story behind it makes us have that kind of goosebump and makes us feel like, hey, life is something very special. So Amazing tour. Thank you so
much.
much for all the work you've done to take us through. And we're very thankful for that. And I wish you and your company the best success for many years to come. And thank you so much. Hopefully we will have a chance to drive it one of these days.
Yes, next time you come to Modena to drive Pagani car, and after we will go eat the tortellini of Modena.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
again.
much.